Always helps to hit record. Good morning, good morning. Just double checking that we are going live. Zoom is trying to do all sorts of updates today. There we go. There we are. Hello, everyone. Well, we are at our last Monday of our sweet results of the 8-week challenge, of the challenge component of this community. And so as always, drop a comment below if you're watching this live, if you're watching it on replay. How are you going? It's week 8. It's the final week. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that. It's exciting and it's sad all at the same time. So today I really wanted to touch in with you. If you want to grab a pen and paper for this session, go for it. If you're watching live, you won't be able to pause, but if you're watching replay, there'll be moments where you can pause today, because I really want to give you that opportunity to do another check-in, where you're at, what you've achieved, and what it is you want next. So we're at the beginning of the year. In fact, ladies, we are 16.5-ish% through 2025. So we're nearly at 20% of the way through. We're 1/6 of the way through the year already. So at the start of the year, or when you started this challenge, you set your sights on something. Maybe it was getting healthier. Maybe it was losing a few kilos of body fat. Maybe it was building more strength, or finally creating that balanced lifestyle that you know you want to achieve. But here's the question, ladies. Here's the question. Just sorry, something popped up in my background. I want you to ask yourself today. Feel free to drop in the comments or not. Write it down. But here's the question I want you to ask yourself today. Have you moved closer towards that goal in the past 8 weeks? Have you moved closer towards that goal in the past 8 weeks? So we're going to take a moment to reflect. Have a think about this journey so far. So far, ladies, this has just been 8 weeks. It's not a full journey. It's the start of a journey. It's the start of something. If you've made progress in the last 8 weeks, what progress have you made? Take a minute to list them out. What progress have you made? Maybe you've noticed improvements in your energy levels, which I really hope so. Maybe you've noticed improvements in your sleep, how your clothes are fitting. Maybe you've noticed progress in your flexibility, in the way your body recovers from doing a workout. Maybe you're not as sore all over as you were before. Maybe you've shrunk in size. Maybe you're less bloated. And of course, if you want to go there, maybe you've seen some progress on the scales. List all of those things out. Where have you seen progress? All of those wins that we've been talking about. And then take a moment to consider what's done that. What has been the catalyst for seeing those results? Maybe you've been more consistent with your workouts than you were before. Maybe you were already doing some exercise, but through this 8 weeks, you've been more consistent. Why have you been more consistent? I want you to answer why. For each one of these, why have you been more consistent in exercise or doing workouts? What is it that has motivated you to build that habit of consistency? Or maybe you've found joy in the new meals you're preparing. Why? What's been the exciting part of those meals? Is it that they're new, you're trying new things? Is it that you are finding ways to make time to meal prep and to plan out how you're going to be healthy this week? What are those small victories that you've had? And what's created them? And that list of wins that you've had, the progress, what's caused that? What have you been doing to see those results? And then why did you do those things? So we've got 3 layers here. These are the small victories, ladies, that add up over time. So if you can identify them now, as I did this because of this, and it resulted in me doing this, which resulted in this win. The more that you can identify why you did something and what you did to get there, the easier it's going to be to make sure those habits stay in your lifestyle. And they don't need to be big. I think if there's something hopefully everyone's picked up on through the last 8 weeks, is that it is the small victories that add up to the big ones. So please make sure that you are celebrating your small wins. Beautiful. Hi, Jacqueline. Jacqueline's been more disciplined in the last 8 weeks than ever. Why is that, Jacqueline? The group, she's enjoying food, she's learning, she's making time for herself, she's feeling important instead of guilty. Oh my God, that is the best ever, Jacqueline. Feeling important instead of feeling guilty. Just sit with that for a minute. Everyone sit with that for a minute. Jennifer, what's changed for her is that she struggled with food beforehand. Now she knows what she's eating. She's paying attention. And the prep as well. The prep is big, yeah. It's changed the game for her. Seriously, never want to go back. I love that. There is a magic that happens when we take that time to prep for our health. And we suddenly realize, it's not as time consuming as we make it out to be when we're in the throes of busyness. But B, you have more control. You feel more in control and more like you are achieving something when you pay attention to your food and you prep it and you've got that overall sense of what's happening, rather than I'll just eat whatever I can on the day. I'll decide on the day. I'll grab something out the freezer in the afternoon or in the morning before I go to work. It's a sense of accomplishment as well, but it will get you those results. If we fail to prepare, we are preparing to fail. I love that quote so much. Jennifer, I love what you've written there too. Thank you for sharing. All of these things are big wins. So I hope you're writing them all down. Now, moving forward, these are the things we're going to expand on. We're going to work together to expand those wins on a more personal level. It's you and me, baby. Let's magnify those wins moving forward, because this is just the beginning. Now, there are going to be some people who haven't seen the progress that they hoped for. And if that's you, this is your time here too. Or maybe you've got some wins and then you've got some areas that you didn't see progress in that you wanted to. So now I want you to ask yourself, what's held you back? What has stopped you? When I did the middle of the challenge check-ins with everyone, there was a distinct, and I'm going to share this, I'm obviously not going to name names, but there was a distinct 2 categories. There was those that had thrown themselves all in, following the recipes, giving everything a go, tuning into some of the classes, And they were like, yep, things are happening, things are moving, my energy levels are up, I'm feeling more confident with this, that, and the other. I'm sleeping better, all those sorts of things. And then there was another line that said, look, it's not working, it's not, I'm not seeing the results I want. And then when we dug deeper, it's, well, I haven't followed the meal plans. I've been too busy to follow this. I've been too busy to meal prep. I'm too this, too that. I don't like that. So I just did my own thing, or I haven't even started yet. And it was two very distinct groups. So whatever group you're in, what honestly held you back from going all in on your health? Was it that you don't have enough time? Because let's face it, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. Yes, we're all busy. We all have different things happening in that 24 hours a day. So the real question is, how are we choosing to allocate that time within that 24 hours to you? It goes back to what Jacqueline said beautifully of feeling important rather than feeling guilty. From the bottom of my heart, are you letting life's chaos dictate your health? Or are you choosing to take control, even if it's just 15 minutes a day? Even if all you did for the week was that 1 hour, 1 hour and a half of meal prep on a weekend or a Monday morning, however your time windows look, to prep your meals for the week. 90 minutes was about the average for preparing the whole week's worth of food. How many of those 90 minutes did you miss because you told yourself, there's just no time, I'm too busy, I don't have time? So what could you have done differently in those moments? Making that 90 minutes a week to prep, to at least plan, even if you're not prepping, to plan your food for the week sets the tone for the week. Or if you've been sitting around, if you've had those moments where you're sitting around, you know, you might say, I don't have time to go for a walk, or I don't have time to do a workout, and yet you're sitting around waiting for someone, or you've got time to kill between this sport or that sport. So you sat on your phone and scrolled. I'm not judging. I'm not judging. We all have those moments where we need to sit on our phone and scroll just to tune out. But even a short intentional walk or 15 minutes of squats and lunges and some push-ups will make a huge difference to your body shape, to your fat burning processes, to your ability to sleep that night, to your energy levels for the afternoon, and to your overall health and wellness. Mental health more than anything, by the way. So I'm going to ask you this. Have you let life get in the way of your health? And if so, are you okay with that? Because there's no right or wrong answer here. There is never a right or wrong answer. Everybody has different values on different things at varying points in their lives. But you have to decide if you're going to sit here and say, well, I didn't see any progress, I didn't see any results. Why is that? Be honest with yourself. Because when you can't move forward until you are honest with yourself. It's like I see it when I was teaching and like in kids sport, you know, kids say, oh, it's not fair, I didn't get into that team because they don't like me, or that person did this, when really they hadn't worked for it. They hadn't practiced their shots at home. They hadn't worked on whatever skills they needed to work on. Or in a classroom setting, when we see kids, oh, didn't get an A because the teacher doesn't like me. No, you didn't get an A because you didn't get the results on the test or whatever it was, because you didn't put the work in to get there. And it's at that point we say to the kids, darling, this is your responsibility. To see X results, you've got to do the work. To see Y results, you've got to do the work. And the same goes in our health. So whatever your answer is there's no right or wrong answer. But the question I'd love you to ask yourself is, have you let life get in the way of your health in the past 8 weeks? And if so, are you okay with that? Now, if you're not okay with that, use that. If you are okay with that, fabulous. That's where you need to be right now. But again, moving forward, our more personalized approach now in this community is to help you reach your goals. Our more personalized approach for your goals is going to help you focus on moving through those excuses or the chaos of life that is getting in the way of your health, to push past those things to get the results you actually want, whatever that is, whatever that goal is for you. That's where we're moving to as of next week. My goodness, it's come around so quick. But the reason I asked today is that you are finishing a challenge that was designed to put you first. And you started with the intention of putting your health first. And if that didn't happen, it is critical that you know why, so that you can move forward with success in the future. Maybe it's not time that's the issue. Maybe it was something deeper. Maybe it's been the challenge itself. Perhaps you found the workouts or the changes in your diet to be tougher than expected. Maybe you're feeling defeated by those tough days where you don't feel like you're seeing quick results. I understand how that feels. The discouragement when the scale doesn't move the way you want, or when you're too sore to even think about the gym the next day, like getting up, I'm too sore to get up. But here's the thing, progress doesn't always show up in the way you expect. It is not always about a rapid transformation, and quite often when it is, it can be diminishing returns at the other end. Sometimes, no, always, it's the consistency that counts. Those small intentional actions every single day, showing up even when it's feeling hard for whatever reason, that is where the magic happens. That is the part of building those habits that eventually it's not hard, it's habit. But we need to push through the hard to make it habit. Now, on that note, there is something that I learned along the way when working with my own coaches. Yes, I have coaches because I want to get out of here. I'm too attached to my results. So therefore, I have a coach who calls me out on my own bullshit for my own body, right? And who helps me think laterally rather than vertically about what it is going on for me. Because you need someone to have that third party aspect. We're too attached to our own outcomes. So yes, I have coaches. And it's the fact, so here's the thing that I've learned. It's the fact that it's never actually the programs that work or don't work. So I used to be really good at saying that program never really worked well. That program didn't work at all. But here's what I learned about me. It's never the program. You could pick any weight loss program and it will work or won't work. And it comes down to you. So for me, the work, whether it worked or not, came back to me. It was up to me to decide if I was going to make it work. It was up to me to decide if I was going to go all in and follow the things that are laid out in front of me. It was up to me to decide if I was going to let my ego or prior knowledge or what I thought I knew better at to go, well, that might work, but that won't, and I'm not going to do it that way because I don't like that, and blah, blah, blah. And then of course, it's not going to work with that strategy, right? It's not going to work with that strategy because that's not what's been laid out in front of you by that particular coach. And it was up to me to do the work that was laid out in front of me to see the results that I want. And being able to reflect on that really helped me to get out of my own way to move forward with my own goals. And I promise you, if that's something that you've been thinking along the way too, or perhaps you've done it in the past, that's going to help you move forward with your goals, taking radical responsibility for what you're putting in. Now, there's another aspect to all of this that I'd love to bring up, which is the community and support. We all know that making changes, especially when it comes to health and wellness, can feel so isolating. So I want to ask you this. How long have you been trying to do this alone? I know that pull, that force to say, I'll just figure it out on my own. I don't need to do this anymore. I'm capable on my own. Or my favorite, I should be able to do this on my own. There's no should. I know that one. I should be able to lose weight on my own. But if you've been trying again and again and again and again to do this on your own, only to fall back into the same lacking habits as before, or not seeing the results long term that you want, then there's something in that. Absolutely. We all know that what we should be doing to lose body fat, but do we do it? And for most of us, losing body fat, this is going to upset some people, should only be a short-term goal. A fat loss period should only be a short-term goal. So what does your body need to be able to do for the rest of the time? That's maintain. And do you know what your body needs to be able to maintain that body fat loss long term without slipping back into habits that caused you to get here in the first place? That's where the gold nuggets are. That's where the gold nuggets are. Being able to maintain that fat loss moving forward without doing this up, down cycle. And my hope for every single one of you beautiful women in this group is that you take what you have learned and be able to comfortably implement it into your everyday so that you're happy, so that you're fulfilled, so that you're confident with your health and your body. Beautiful. Oh, Regan, I love working with you too. I love it. I love it. 10 years, says Jacqueline, she's been trying. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Jacqueline. I think all coaches should be coached. Absolutely. If we've all got goals, then yeah, having a coach, having a community, someone in your corner is key to help you take the personal out of it. We are too attached to our own results. Yeah. Jennifer, what I was doing wasn't working. So when I started, I was going all in. Yeah. Why the hell not? Why not go all in? Because the worst thing that's going to happen when you go all in is that you stay where you are. But you still will have learned something. You will have learned heaps. So have a think about this. When was the last time you felt completely aligned in your goals and able to smash through them on your own? Health and wellness isn't just about workouts and food. It is not about eat less and move more. I could almost cry when I say that because I'm so, like, I say it so many times, it's not resonating with everyone yet. More often than not, ladies, you need a network. At the very least, you need someone in your corner being that third party, that non-emotional side of your results. You need people who cheer you on when you feel like quitting. Because there are days everyone feels like quitting. Even my coach has days where she feels like quitting. So then her coach comes in and helps her. You need people who are going to hold you accountable when that temptation to not do it anymore creeps in. And not everybody has that at home. Not everybody, even though we've got supportive partners, their priority is not keeping you on track. Yeah. This is why you're part of this program. This is why you joined, I'm sure of it. Because you didn't want to do it alone and you wanted to see what was possible. The people around you here are here to celebrate your wins, to lift you up on the hard days and remind you why you started in the first place. So make sure that you've got that invaluable network around you now moving forward, however that looks. So today I want you to consider what brought you here and what has been holding you back from fully committing to your goals before you joined this shred. Was it a lack of strategy? Was it a lack of planning? Maybe you start with enthusiasm, but don't know how to structure your workouts or balance your meals with your busy lifestyle. Because like we said before, chaos, the busyness, the chaos of life is getting in the way of your health. Maybe your goals felt too big to tackle all at once, and without a clear path, it just became too overwhelming, so you didn't do anything. Analysis paralysis, right? But here's the truth. Without a plan, it's easy to get lost. And without accountability, it's too easy to give up and fall off track. So what now? I'd love everyone to have that honest chat with themselves this week. If this 8 weeks is the end for you, for whatever reason, will you actually get the results you want for your 2025 goal? And if you haven't set a goal for the year for your health, I do suggest you do that, because having something to move towards, even if it is having a balanced lifestyle between fun, food, and fitness, right? If you walk away now, will you actually get the results that you want for the year? Or will you fall back into the same cycle of trying things on your own, only to give up when the going gets tough, or when you don't see the results that you think you should be seeing? Or are you going to fall into the trap of jumping from one challenge or one program to the next again, without ever really finding out what your body actually needs? Now, you've already taken the first step by joining. Now it's time to decide, what do you need to do to finish what you started? What is your next goal from here? Is it more fat loss? Have you realistically got more body fat to lose? Is it working out, all right, I've built these habits. How the hell do I continue to do this long term? When things are going to get tough, when someone gets sick, when I get sick, how am I going to do this long term? Is your goal continuing to build even more health into your body, more confidence into yourself, more balance so that you're not going up and down, up and down? What is your goal? What is the next step? Look at the progress you've already made. Maybe you've learned how to balance nutrition in a way that feels sustainable. I hope so. My goodness, I hope so. That's what we do. Maybe you've discovered that working out does not mean spending hours in the gym. It doesn't. It can mean effective, efficient sessions that fit into your life. And if you haven't found that yet and you want to, then that's a more personalized factor that you might need to consider looking at. Maybe you found that just having a plan makes all the difference. Maybe it was the simple fact of planning your week, planning your food. So my biggest hope for all of you moving forward now, do not let this momentum go to waste. Please do not let this momentum go to waste. If you return now to the habits you had prior to this challenge, you will go backwards. Please do not let all of this momentum go to waste. You can achieve the results you're looking for if you haven't already, but you need to be willing to push through the challenges as they come up. You need to be willing to stick with it, even when it feels hard. And it's okay if you need the support of other people who are invested in your success, who are rooting for you every step of the way. That is exactly why we built this community and why we do these challenges, because it's the community and the support and the accountability that is the biggest driving factor in health and wellness success. And that is exactly why we're making this bigger and better once the 8 weeks is over, because we can take out that one size fits all and make it more about you, because you're not all striving for one challenge, one program, right? It now becomes about you. This is your opportunity to make 2025 the year you finally break through, if you want it. Might not be, everyone might not have decided that that's what they want to do. The next level of your transformation is waiting right there for you. You've got that ball rolling down the hill. We are here to help you get that ball down and rolling through the valley. But it's up to you to decide. Are you going to keep that ball rolling down and on and through? Or are you going to build a wall and stop that ball rolling and lose all of that beautiful momentum? So have a really good think this week about what is next for you. Realistically, what does your body need now? What does your body need now? And are you actually ready to claim it? Are you ready to claim that? Now, if you're not sure what your next goal is or what's next or what your body needs now, I am opening up my inbox this week for private messages just to help you. No, I haven't done a lot of that one-on-one because it's been a challenge. This week, I'm opening up my inbox. Jump in there. Come chat with me and let's get your next goal set. Yeah, learn how to maintain. That is the life. That is peak, Jennifer, that maintenance. I'm so glad, Jennifer, that you and Jacqueline have got each other. I love that. I love, 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 love that. Maintenance is key. Maintenance is your forever. Fat loss should be like you do what you need to do to get there, and then the rest of your life is maintaining. This is where it all goes wrong for so many people. Maintenance is the hard part. Fat loss is not the hard part. The maintenance is the living the balanced lifestyle with the chocolate and ice cream. And if you want to have drinks on the weekend for whatever reason, you can do that. You want to have some bread, you want to do this without feeling guilty, all in moderation, while maintaining a physique that you feel confident, strong, and energetic in. That is maintenance. That is maintenance. And that is the hardest part of weight management, particularly for women. Particularly for women, because of all the food noise that's going on. That is the goal, and that is what I want to help every single one of you with if you're up for it. So I'm about to finish up. Moving forward here in this Sweet Results community will now all be about the personal. We're going to help you to craft your meal plans based on your calorie requirements. We're going to help you set your workout and movement structure to reach your goals. We're going to dive deep with each of you every single month on a personal level with monthly check-ins and more accountability for your own individual goals rather than having all the main structure. So if you are truly ready to make 2025 the year that you put your excuses behind you, the year that you put yo-yo dieting behind you, the year that you reach your body goals, your health goals, your energy goals, the year to build up the most confident and the healthiest version of you, then let's do this together. And when I talk about, ladies, being the healthiest version of you, I am not for 1 second thinking muscles and body fat levels. I am thinking hormones balanced, good sleep, clarity in the mind, reduced fatigue and high energy levels, confidence. That is what I mean when I say healthiest self. For different people, you could be your healthiest self at 120 kilos, or you could be your healthiest self at 60. I know some freaking amazing women who are at around the 100-kilo mark, who sleep well, their hormones are balanced, they have so much body confidence, they've got a good level of muscle tone, so they're not weak, they're not going to lose bone structure as they get older because their muscles are strong. And they are the most gorgeous women I've ever met. I don't give two hoots about what the scale says. Your healthiest self comes from within and how you function every day. I'm behind you, ladies. If your goal for 2025 is to be your healthiest self, whatever that looks for you, then let's do this together. Maybe for you, it does look like being 60 kilos instead of 100. No judgment here. Whatever you want it to be. So moving forward, we are going to still have classes. Of course. How amazing have these classes been? There might be less of them or they might be shorter based on all of your feedback, which thank you, by the way, for all of that feedback. But moving forward, your time here with us is going to be more tailored to be about you personally. We're going to work with you to ensure that you hit your goals this year. This is the year you come alive, ladies. I cannot wait to touch base with each and every one of you to hear what your goals are and to help you craft your own individual plan to get there. That's going to start next week. But if you do want to jump into my DMs this week and have a quick chat about, I'm not sure where my goal is, my next goal should be, please, everyone do that. I'm right here for you. All right, lovely ladies. I hope that was motivating for a Monday. I always love talking about these things, just that regroup of where you've come, what you've achieved. We need to reflect in order to be able to move forward. However that looks for you, you also need to be able to reflect and take ownership of why you did or didn't get the results that you thought you were going to get. All right, lovely ladies, have the most amazing day. Go crush it. Don't forget to submit your steps. Last week, let's do it.